The weather outside is gross today. Gross. I don't know if you know this, but Scottish people love talking about the weather. It's one of those weird things. We will talk to you about the weather all day long. So today it's horrible. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Patreon, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. I sounded a wee bit Christmassy. No, 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 no. I can't remember the name of the carol. You tell me what it was, I forget. So if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus content like my Vocal Anatomy 101 series, so consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, we are going to be listening to Demi Lovato. I have listened to one Demi track before. It was Anyone, if I remember. Anyone, yes, anyone. And since then and now, Demi has told the world that she is non-binary. So Demi goes by they and them. So if I get the pronouns wrong, I apologize. This was just announced like a day or so ago. So I will try and regulate my speech. But I'm also an idiot who talks too fast. So if I get that wrong, then apologies in advance. But we are listening to Dancing with the Devil live on TikTok, so let's just go and do that.
Oh, it's just a little red wine, I'll be fine.
Nice.
Not like I wanna do this every night. I've been good, don't I deserve it? I think I earned it, feels like it's worth it in my mind.
Ooh, that was a nice low note to finish that wee phrase there. So what we can hear from Demi so far is that there are tons of dynamics at play here. So first of all, they are starting with a fry on lots of their phrases. That's where the vocal folds are at their slackest. It's a toneless sound, like a creaky door. Ah. And when you slide into your phrases with that fry, you just get a pop of texture. It's kind of like a smoky, mysterious kind of start to a sound. So they're blending that seamlessly into an aspirate tone, which is where more air than normal comes through the folds and gives you a breathy, airy, misty sound. So that creaky sound into that misty sound is just absolutely perfect for them. They're then taking that aspirate sound and sliding into a more fuller sound where the folds are coming together more completely, and it's just giving so much dynamic to this performance. There's just so much going on that you wouldn't necessarily hone in on if you were just like casually listening. They are doing a lot and they're doing it really subtly. Amazing stuff.
Twisted reality, hopeless insanity. I told you I was okay, but I was lying. I was dancing with the devil, out of control. Almost made it to heaven, it was closer than you know. Flying with the enemy, gambling with my soul. It's so hard to say no when you're dancing with the devil.
Wow. Okay, that was intense. There was such a jump from their lower register to their higher register, like at least a full octave, I would say. Getting your voice from that place to that place so seamlessly and so quickly could be asking for danger, but they are so good and so skilled that it's actually quite an easy jump for them. You'd have to slow it down, I'm not entirely sure, but it sounds almost like they're doing a tiny little slide up into that space, so it's a little bit easier to get there, like that. Like it starts a touch lower and then it's kind of smoothly glided into in order that you're not having to like attack it from the very top end. It's just wild to go from like a really thick full position into a thinner full position so seamlessly is amazing. Okay, let's keep going.
It's just a little white line, I'll be fine. But soon that little white line is a little glass pie.
Nice.
Tenfold remedy almost got the best of me. I keep praying I don't reach the end of my life. Time.
They are so good at riffs. It's wild. One thing that I notice is that when they do their riffs, the jaw and the lips move like nothing else. You don't necessarily need to move your lips and jaw that much when you are riffing, but what it can do is like almost give a wee shake to the sound, like it changes the shape of the vowel as you're doing it, and I think that's what gives Demi that really unique riff sound. Like it almost sounds like you're shaking them like that. Not exactly the way you'd want your riffs to be described, but it's what came into my head. The tone as well is beautiful, but we'll come on to that in a bit.
Oh, twisted reality, hopeless insanity. I told you I was okay, but I was lying. I was dancing with the devil, out of control. Almost made it to heaven. It was closer than you know. Lying with the enemy, gambling with my soul. It's so hard to say no when you're dancing with the devil. Thought I knew my limit, yeah. I thought that I could quit, yeah. Thought that I could walk away easily, but here I am falling down on my knees.
Okay, there's a lot going on here. So let's take their stance into consideration. Demi is holding onto that mic and you can see there's like a real rigidity to the body, and I feel like that is due to anchoring. Now, anchoring is where you let the big muscles of your body support the little muscles of your larynx. So our anchors are in our pectoral muscles, they're in our lats, they're in our delts, and they're in our sternocleidomastoids and our occipital muscles. They're all over the place. But what happens when those muscles come into play and you're doing quite extreme voicing, they come in and they support. It's a big support network, so you don't have to work so hard. So when you see their arms going out like this and everything just kind of grinds into the ground, you can tell that those anchors are at play in order to make that sound more projected, more supported, and just more stable. Props as well to the backing singers, they're amazing. I feel like the levels could be tweaked a little bit better because the band are really loud compared to the vocals, but this may be just a singer thing that I'm just like, more vocals! Anyway, let's keep going.
Praying for better days to come and wash this pain away. Would you please forgive me? Lord, I'm sorry for dancing with the devil.
That was really, really good. So that big top note there had rasp, it had power, but it was in a thinner fold position. So think chest voice where your vocal folds come together at the bottom and top edge and you get that thicker sound. Thinner fold is where they're coming together at just the top edge. It's a one mass model. If I'm going for the same note, it's lighter, it's easier sounding, but if you use your anchors on that sound, we know it's going to get more projected, and that's exactly what happened here. The rasp in there as well, which is where the air's tickling the false vocal folds in order to give it a little bit of rasp, but not too much. Just chef's kiss.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, Demi, what are you doing to me? Okay, so they went back in and just started hammering these high notes. Beautiful addition of cry in the middle of one of those like long held notes. It just gives it that turn of emotion. That's why it's called cry. It's an emotional kind of sound. I think one of Demi's strong suits is that they can make these lighter sounds sound heavier. So they're not having to put in so much effort thrashing at their voice to get that really high note sounding strong. They just have that kind of set that their mix is a kind of a chest to your head, if you like. It's got so much power behind it. I'd say the rasp has something to do with that as well. If you think of all the old kind of glam rock bands, all of their singers had that rasp on top of that kind of heady sound, and it gave you that idea that it was super projected and super, super loud. And they are doing the same thing. It's got a very similar energy to it. It's just amazing. Why do I always stop right before they stop? Oh no. Stand corrected. Yes. Oh, that was wild. Just putting in like a guitar solo at the very end. And a dirty solo it was as well. Woofed. That took me places. Gave me tickles. Sorry, I just hit that plant. So that was Demi doing Dancing with the Devil live on TikTok. And I think it's safe to say that they absolutely destroyed that performance. A grade. That rasp and that texture is just beautiful, and it carries through absolutely everything that they do vocally, and it's just such a lovely vocal fingerprint. So nice. So I hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below, and if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and how are we going to buy this one? So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and if you like this video, then please like and subscribe. That was really simple, but meow. Bye!